This year, Concordia University St. Paul is honored to have as its 2001 commencement speaker, Mrs. MayKao Hang, President and CEO of the Amherst H. Foundation, a significant and meaningful nonprofit health and human services organization. Ms. Hang is an active community member and works diligently to improve services and systems for the benefit of the most vulnerable residents of our society. Please welcome President MayKao Hang.
Thank you, President Holst. Students and honored guests for inviting me to speak tonight. It's actually my honor and privilege to be able to address you. My passion to work in service to the vulnerable has brought me to the Amherst H. Foundation, whose mission is to serve the poor, sick, and needy of the greater St. Paul area. And every day I get to go to work and help improve and transform the lives of thousands of people. I've been blessed by God to work in an organization where my personal values align perfectly with my professional work. And as you move forward, graduates, I urge you to consider translating your passion into action. For each ending as we touch, there is a new beginning. Never again will you be in the exact place that you are tonight. Never again will you revel in the time of discovery in which you have lived here at Concordia University. And never again will you grow younger or have back the time that has now been taken in learning through college. Just as time will not stand still, neither should you stand still. The reality, as was emphasized before, is that time passes all too quickly. Each day that arrives that is given to us is a gift. Once, when I was out camping at Yellowstone National Park, I went to a place called the Painted Canyon. Perhaps you've seen it. As I looked out into the canyon and saw the brilliant colors of orange, red, brown, and yellow, and the rocks that went soaring up into the deep blue sky, and saw that river weaving down through the valley, I immediately felt the sting of tears in my eyes. Beauty does that to me sometimes. I know that only God could have created something so beautiful. And as I look at all of you tonight and see the promise for the future of St. Paul and our country, I see the beauty in all of you, in the people that makes this country great. It is equally moving to me. The road traveled for many of you to get here might not have been easy. I know in my own life, certainly, bucking tradition to get to college as a young Hmong woman who was discouraged in both silent and overt ways from deviating from the cultural norm of getting married and having children was actually much harder than attending college itself. Because of war, disease, hunger, and the lack of literacy in my own life, I was fraught with challenges even before I could even get to college. The road leading me to Brown University, where I eventually graduated, just seemed insurmountable. Perhaps for some of you, this has also been the case, and yet you have triumphed. Congratulations. For others, it might have been easier to get to college, to travel along this road as an expectation that you've always had for yourself, and now your life may get harder from this point. The future is always uncertain. In any case, I'm here to tell you that there's always another fork in the road where decisions will need to be made that will alter the course of your life. Not too soon from now, you'll be able to look back at your life and see the choices you've made along the journey, and the road will suddenly be visible. As you look into the future, there are 100 iterations of who you could become into the future because of the set of choices that you will now soon make. Now is the time to decide how you would like to live. Will you be satisfied with your life when you take a look back? I've known childhood friends who grew up with me in the city of St. Paul who made choices that led them to fortune or poverty. I've known those whose choices have led them to wild success or to tragedy. I've even known others who've made choices to harm others and landed in jail. Now that you've arrived, the real question is actually not about how you arrived. The real question is, now that you have arrived, What will you do with all that you've accomplished? So the moment you get there, wherever it is that you're going, please don't waste your time worrying. Get to work right at what is right in front of you. For example, will you regret not making certain choices? What will you stand for, against, or with? As you look at your future, how would you like to lead your life? Is silence really neutral, as so many people think? Because your diploma will soon become an asset in the bank account that's your life. What will you do with it? My father, who was born in a village, dirt poor, but with a brilliant mind, became one of the first Hmong teachers in his native country of Laos. His college education later led him to be thrown into a re-education camp, and then to flee the country of Laos with us. Being a teacher had become a death warrant for him, and yet, because he was an educated man, he managed to outwit soldiers who would have killed us along the journey in our second attempt to go to Thailand and to safety. After we arrived here in the United States, his degree meant nothing, and he had to start all over. The actions you take now will lay the foundation for the next leg of the journey for you. The past, as you well know, or should know, will never be erased. As you move forward, I urge you to step wisely and to pay attention. There is no wrong road, only the road you are willing to travel. And tonight, I'd like to have you reflect on your values and make strategic choices about the life that you'd like to lead. To help you along, I thought I'd share some of my learning using the word Wilder, because I'm the Wilder president. Pretty clever, huh? W is for world. In the world, and remembering that we are the world as human beings, we are imperfect. There was only one person who had a perfect life according to Scripture, and I'm really sorry to tell you this tonight, you guys, but you are not that person. So, be relieved and walk forth and try not to be perfect as you embrace your life. I is for insight. Our worldview is always cast in our lenses first. Just as we wear eyeglasses, it's what we know. As naturally egotistical beings in the world who must have confidence and also in order to succeed, we also harden the lenses that we have and become less insightful about others who are different from us. Try not to only associate with those with whom you are comfortable. The best learning comes from being with people who are not like you. L is for love. It is expected that one should love family and those who are close, but how many of us can say that we love all those needy and/or difficult strangers? Those who give freely of their time, resources, and money to the Wilder Foundation to assist and help strangers are really special people. Amherst H. Wilder, a businessman and entrepreneur who lived in St. Paul over 100 years ago, knew that he would never see the legacy that he would leave behind for the poor, sick, and needy of this city when he left his entire fortune to us. I can only believe that his love for those less fortunate prompted him to leave almost his entire fortune to the people of St. Paul. Now that's love. D is about diligence. Having applied yourself to your studies to graduate tonight, what will you do to be diligent in your lives to the work that is at hand? Applying yourself with equal commitment and diligence will move you along the path to success. E is for effort. It's true, no more grades for you. No grades are applied to the real world, only what you think of yourself and of the effort that you yourself will extend. There will be no return to you of the benefits that could be gained to enrich your life or the life of others if you don't put forth the effort. And finally, R is for relationships. What makes us who we are is not only what becomes of us, but what becomes of those who know us. Every person we know and build a relationship with is changed, whether for better or for worse. Many Americans live in a small and narrow world. If we never force ourselves to move outside of the small circle of people we know, we limit our own possibilities for greatness. Will you show up as your best self to those who know you? Can you withhold judgment and make it worthwhile for those you have yet to get to know? In the lottery of luck and life, some of us have more to overcome than others to become healthy, safe, and prosperous. As people who go off into the world armed with a college diploma that not all others can achieve, what will you do to enrich not only yourselves, but the lives of others? I've had a very simple standard for myself for the last 15 years as I've worked in human services. My goal is to go to bed each night with peace in my heart. So, after the worst of my worst days, I go to sleep and I receive the gift of tomorrow. I start again to be the kind of person I want to be, and less of the person I don't want to be. Rushing to embrace the future can be very good, and I'm sure that some of you can't even wait for the ceremony to get over. And yet, the future never arrives if you only dream about what you will do and don't pay attention to what you are doing. Set aside the worry of the past, and don't just dream about the future. Instead, pay attention to what's worthy now. Apply your skills and knowledge and do something. You can let others define who you are, or you can choose to define who you want to become. It's your choice. So here's your chance. Take it. Make choices. Hold fast to the moments that are right here, and don't stand still, because time won't. Thank you.